All right, folks, today we're going to talk about worth. And worth is a tricky little, and sorry for the whatever hands, prayer hands. This is what feels appropriate. So worth is one of those metrics that is binary. Worthy or not worthy. Confident or not confident. When you're on the path to confident or worthy, you're still not. And I think that's helpful to remember because the activities, thought, emotional, conversational, behavioral, that you would have in the end state, in worthiness, in confidence, are different than on the way there. For example, on the way to worthy, or let's say the allowance of your inherent worth, what you think about assumes that you aren't already. And sometimes just putting down those thoughts, those patterns, those conversations can help reveal the sensation that would otherwise exist. Meaning, if you weren't trying to figure out how to become confident, you might feel confident because you forgot that you weren't. And what's interesting with these self-labels is that they're kind of fractured. So this is confidence, and then you display confidence differently in different areas of life, professionally, personally, with this particular person, with, often what we're wanting to realize at a characteristic level already exists somewhere in our array of behavior and experience. And by isolating it and starting to see, I do have that there. I am kind of funny. Oh shit, I am organized. The gap between you and the characteristic you think you should have gets smaller. Because you're not generating it from scratch. You're cultivating it from where it exists. And often you can copy and paste the characteristic by copy and pasting the assumptions. An example would be if you're confident and let's say cooking or confident with friends, you might ask what you believe to be true in those things and then play around with what it would feel like if those things were true in the area where you weren't so confident, maybe romantically. So if you looked at those two areas and you said, well, I'm confident because I get good feedback, or because I trust people, or because I don't care, I like to do it my way, or whatever, you find what you must believe to be true that allows you confidence, and you see where you could find it in that other environment. The other environment, the assumptions that you have about it, you might have learned when something went wrong. If you were abandoned as a child, emotionally or otherwise, you might write down, you assume that people will leave. But you don't have to assume that. That is just that one person. But if you continue to assume that, you'll continue to expect it, and you'll actually filter out people and experiences that aren't consistent with what you believe to be true in that area. Or you'll act as if they are true and therefore perpetuate it. If you act like you're not trustworthy if you're not trusting somebody, actually, that's a little bit more nuanced. Trust is nuanced, and appreciating things are nuanced can also help ground them, meaning it's nice to say trust everybody, but one wants to be wise, right? So let's say instead that, I forgot where I started that. And when we say that, where do we want to go next? If you are expecting somebody to reject you, you might start to act as if they already have, and in so doing, create space between you and the person. And that'll ultimately look and feel like rejection because they're not as close as they were. See what I'm saying? And so keeping this short, is there anything else today? Yes, what else today? Let's take a couple of big breaths to your belly. And we're going to do a Pennsylvania couple, which is 3 or 4. I say that because it really is just 2, but I grew up thinking it was synonymous with several. In Pennsylvania. Anything else? No, that's it for today. I work with clients one-to-one to help them develop mindsets and behaviors that align with the world they want to live in, internally, externally, and the big old rock. So if you're interested in seeing if we would be a good fit together, you can sign up for a free try me call at theselfhug.com. They're easy peasy. You tell me where you're at, what you're working on, and I'll let you know how or what I think we could do to help you along.